Court grants ex-Kwara governor Ahmed 50 million naira bail. Rivers police parade body of slain notorious cult leader Tubaba. INEC releases 2023 election report on the score's need for technological advancement. And on the foreign scene, gunmen kill 4 Niger soldiers near Nigeria's border. Hello and welcome to Trust TV's news update. I am Chiamaka Nwafo. Thank you for joining us. Now, former Governor Abdul Fattah Ahmed of Kwara State has been granted bail by Justice Evelyn Ayadike of the Federal High Court in Ilorin. The bail set at 50 million naira requires 2 sureties with landed property in Ilorin, the Kwara State capital. Additionally, the former governor must deposit his traveling documents with the court. Ahmed faces charges by the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission for alleged misappropriation of state funds. Here's the report.
Former Governor Abdul Lateef Ahmed, who had been in custody of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission since Monday, was brought to court today. Initially, journalists were barred from moving the proceedings, but after significant pressure, only 2 were allowed into the courtroom. Ahmed faced a 12-count charge by the EFCC for alleged misappropriations of state funds amounting to 10 billion naira. He pleaded not guilty to all charges, and his oral bail applications were granted by Justice Evelyn Ayadike.
Defendants and he pleaded not guilty, and thereafter application for bail was made by his counsel orally. So although we oppose that it should be in writing, his lordship was of the opinion that she has the discretion to allow them to move oral application, and also moved, and the court after argument the court granted bail on certain conditions. Rotimi
Jacob, counsel to EFCC. He was granted bail on certain conditions.
Conditions, and thereafter adjourned the matter till April because of some intervening holidays, during which period the court will not sit. So that was what happened. April 29th, sorry, 2 dates. The court also made another granting accelerated hearing of the case. The conditions are that he will provide 2 sorties who must show evidence of, one of whom must show evidence of land ownership in Ilorin. They must bring their affidavit of means to show that they are people of means, and that of course their photographs also have to be in court.
The second defendant, former Commissioner for Finance, Demola Banu, was absent from court and had no legal representation. Governor Ahmed served as the governor of Kwara State from 2011 to 2019.
In Rivers State, the police command has confirmed the death of a notorious cult leader, Gift Okmara, also known as Tubaba, the prime suspect in the murder of a former divisional police officer of Awada Division, Bako Agbashim, in September of last year. While briefing journalists on Friday, CP Tunji Disu said the fate was achieved following a 4-month manhunt by the force and its sister security agencies. Governor Siminalayi Fubara had promised 100 million naira reward for whoever was able to provide useful information leading to the capture of the deceased. CP Disu revealed that he was in discussion with the governor for the release of the bounty. Items recovered from his camp include 1 AK-47 rifle, 1 G3 rifle, 1 Scorpion rifle, 1 double-barrel locally made gun, and 2 locally made pistols. Others are 1 cut-to-size double-barrel gun, 1 bulletproof vest, 13 pieces of dynamite, 5 rounds of 9mm live ammunition, 10 army camouflage, 11 assorted charms, 1 human skull, and 1 jackknife. A human skull, assorted rifles, explosives, and various charms, among others, were recovered during the last raid in his hideout, which culminated in his death. The Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, has released its report on the 2023 general election. Now, the Commission said the publication of the report is in keeping with its tradition over the last 4 electoral cycles and commitment to transparency. This was made known in a statement by Sam Olumekun, the National Commissioner and Chairman Information and Voter Education Committee. Olumekun said the report showcases the election's unparalleled diversity in party representation, demonstrating significant democratic process. According to him, the 2023 general election saw 4 political parties winning gubernatorial races, 7 parties winning senatorial seats, 8 in federal constituencies and 9 in state legislatures, illustrating a broad shift in political representation across Nigeria. He said the document has been made accessible on its website and social media platforms. A former president of the Nigerian Bar Association, Olumide Akpata, has clinched the Labour Party ticket for the September 2024 governorship election in Edo State. Akpata scored 316 votes to win the exercise held in Benin City, the Edo State capital, on Friday. Deputy Governor of Abia State, Ikechukwu Emeta, declared Akpata as the winner of the election. After his emergence, Akpata said tribute to a former governor of Ondo State and NBA President Rotimi Akeredolu, who was buried on the same day. He also thanked his supporters and members of the party for their backing, promising to work for the good of the state if he wins the governorship election. His victory comes months after he declared interest in the Edo State governorship race under the Labour Party. Senator Monday Okpebholo has been declared winner of the All Progressives Congress APC primary election for the September 2024 governorship election in Edo State. Okpebholo scored 12,433 votes to defeat other 11 aspirants. Declaring the results on Friday, the governor of Cross River State, Basi Otu, who is the chairman of the revised APC Edo Gubernatorial Election Committee, said a total number of 41,784 were cast in the primary. He further stated that there were 31,863 accredited voters, total votes cast 31,863 votes, valid votes 31,863, and 0 invalid votes in the race that featured 12 contestants. The primaries follows the cancellation of an earlier primary which produced different candidates by the National Working Committee of the party. 3 supposed winners had emerged from the exercise according to results declared by different officials of the party at separate locations on Saturday. In response to Senate President's claim, the Oyo State Governor, Seyi Makinde, has denied allegations that the 36 state governors received a sum of 30 billion naira each to address the current hardships in their respective states. Makinde was responding to recent allegations made by the President of the Senate, Godswill Akpabio, who stated that an unverified report claimed the governors had collected 30 billion naira from the federal government. The governor, who reacted to this during the commissioning of Ishenyi Central Mosque in Ishenyi, questioned why Senator Akpabio would make such a statement, knowing well that it was unverified information.
But I'm not going to let this slide. FIRS cannot give money to any state. So if the Senate President, number 3 citizen in this country, will say unverified report, people are looking at us as leaders. This is the period that we're supposed to give confidence to our people. It is not a period to start playing politics or to start looking for scapegoats. We need to engage with our people. If our policies are not working, we need to listen to them and amend.
Nigeria's Building Collapse Prevention Guild, BCPG, has warned that the sharp rise in the cost of building materials such as cement, fittings and others will lead to the proliferation of substandard goods as builders seek to cut cost by all means. National President of the Guild, Sulaiman Yusuf, gave the warning during a sensitization walk against building collapse. Here's the report.
There has been a hike in the price of building materials in recent weeks, with a 50-kilogram bag of cement soaring above 10,000 naira in many retail outlets in Lagos and other parts of the country. The National President of Building Collapse Prevention Guild, BCPG, Sulaiman Yusuf, during a sensitization walk to create awareness on the emerging challenge in the sector, said the rise in the cost of building materials would eventually have a ripple effect in the sector. He said it would lead to proliferation of substandard goods, as well as the patronage of quack professionals and untrained artisans in the bid to cut costs by builders. He argued that the effect of these emerging menace may not be felt immediately, but the country may start witnessing an increase in building collapse in 3 to 4 years' time. He called on the government and other stakeholders to double their efforts in ensuring that building standards are kept by all builders.
We should be aware that we have government, and government has provided us with what we call the enabling environment and laws that guides construction process, and these laws are meant to be obeyed. So as Nigerians, you should be interested in knowing what are the laws guiding building in Nigeria, and for me to key into it and then follow the process, and then you will not be lost.
Other stakeholders, including Isaac Adkije, an associate professor of civil and environmental engineering at the University of Lagos, called on builders to follow ethical procedures in order to avoid building collapse. They urged the government to address the rising cost of building materials.
Builder is on the site, permanently on site, and ensure that they are following all laws.
To ensure the building in the site by supervision of a builder. But in Lagos State now, what we have in common in Nigeria, anybody that wears jeans and a boot, he has become an engineer. Without ensure, maybe he's a registered builder or a registered structural engineering with current.
We don't want to cause more buildings to come down, to collapse. The cost of cement should be affordable for builders, for people who want to go into speculative construction.
The stakeholders who called on the Standards Organization of Nigeria to ensure that only quality building materials are in the market as part of measures to prevent building collapse also made a case for the review of regulatory fees, while urging the government to see the Ministry of Physical Planning and the Office of Urban Development as agencies for regulation and not revenue generation.
This is the news update on Trust TV. Up ahead. Poor safety practices identified as a leading cause for gas explosions as residents call for restrictions. More when we return. Please stay with us. Welcome back. Thanks for staying with us and you're just joining us. This is the news update on Trust TV. A look at some of our top stories. Court grants ex-Kwara Governor Ahmed 50 million naira bail. Rivers Police parade body of slain notorious cult leader Tubaba. To more news. Residents of Mbanatu community in Goa, East Local Government area of Benue State, have sent a Save Our Soul SOS message to the state government and public-spirited Nigerians to assist the community in the area of education. This follows the total dilapidation of the school structure, leaving the community to provide makeshift arrangements in order to enable pupils in the community access formal education. Jimmy Azande, who visited the community, gives us more.
The provision of basic education for the citizens is the responsibility of government. In Benue State, education, especially in the rural areas, has been reduced to a state of near collapse due to lack of investment in the sector by respective administrations. This is LGA Primary School Manatu in Gwe East Local Government area of Benue State, which incidentally serves as a polling unit. This points to the fact that government is aware of its status. The structure has been reduced to its current state, no thanks to government neglect over the years. Residents here have opted for a makeshift arrangement to help their kids learn while waiting for government assistance.
So we give a beg to the government, if government like, should come and build us a very nice structure so that we can continue to learning and teaching them giving them such a good lesson. Because these small children, tomorrow they are as leader of tomorrow.
So we are in like of some things. What we are trying to make the government understand is that may government help us to one or two things. Maybe she provide a book for us, or those that are so on and so forth, so that our children can help our children to get more, to plant our more career, or to get more effort.
To secure the future of its kids, this community, like many others in Benue State, needs the intervention of government and public-spirited individuals to establish schools and other social amenities.
Such as cooking, e.g. mortar and pestle.
One of the residents of the community told Trust TV that a quick intervention will be appreciated.
Because government has never do anything for us. It's just our little effort that we are trying to help our people. If no, government has not do anything for us. If it has do a little something for us, we will be happy.
They said the continuous neglect of rural communities is one of the reasons for migration to urban areas. They are hopeful that the Aliyah government would change the narrative for good in this community. Jimmy Azandi, Trust TV News, Makurdi.
With the recent surge in gas explosions across the country, Nigerians are proactively taking steps to prevent such tragic accidents. Authorities, including the Federal Fire Service, are emphasizing strict adherence to safety protocols when using gas cookers. However, for some residents in Gombe, the safest option is to discontinue using gas cookers altogether due to the potential consequences they cannot afford to bear. Hassan Kohli brings us more on this.
The recent spate of gas explosion in Nigeria has resulted in the loss of lives and the destruction of properties worth millions of naira nationwide. As a result, individuals utilizing gas for domestic purposes are now implementing precautionary measures, including reducing or discontinuing the use of gas cookers in their homes in order to prevent similar tragedies from occurring. I experienced so many accidents in my house, and I almost gave up using it because there was a time when my wife left it while cooking. It almost exploded, but fortunately, I was there and I helped her extinguish the fire. That is why I took extra measures by limiting the gas cooker usage in my house to avoid deadly accidents. For residents like Malam Al-Amin, the most effective method to mitigate the risks of gas cooker-related accidents is to refrain from using gas cookers altogether and seek alternative energy sources for domestic purposes. I was using a gas cooker in my house, but recent gas explosions in some parts of the country have compelled me to stop using it in my house, because I think it is better for me to use firewood or charcoal than to end up losing my family and my house to gas cooker cylinder explosions. Reports have linked the recent surge in gas explosions in the country to a lack of adherence to basic safety standards, particularly the improper storage of cylinders in poorly ventilated areas and the proliferation of small-scale gas businesses in public spaces. Hassan Kohli, Trust TV News, Gombe.
Daily Trust Foundation, the corporate social responsibility arm of the Media Trust Group, publishers of Daily Trust titles, Armenia, Trust TV, Trust Radio, among others, has trained 22 journalists selected from 7 states of the Northwest region on advanced data journalism. Data journalism, which enhances reporting and news writing with the use and examination of statistics in order to provide a deeper insight into a news story, has become an integral aspect of journalism following the rise of fake news, hence the training. Here's the report.
Speaking at the opening event, the chairman, Daily Trust Foundation, Madam Bilia Bala, highlighted that the foundation is very passionate about training and building the capacity of journalists, hence the need for the training.
So that's what we want journalists, whether you are in print, in radio, in television, whatever, even on the internet, blogging, you need to know how to get data, analyze it, and write a story on it. And that's what we are doing here in Kano. We have collected journalists from northwestern Nigeria, 7 states of the Northwest. They are all here, and we are trying to update their knowledge. Some of them may already have that knowledge, but knowledge is not static, like I keep saying. Anything static is in danger of decay. So we keep updating them so that they can do their job well.
He therefore took participants through an illustrative manner on how data mining is practiced in the local pattern by forefathers since years immemorial, among other examples. On his part, the Commissioner of Information and Internal Affairs in Kano, Baba Halilu Dantiye, urged the participating journalists to apply data journalism in their reporting for accuracy, noting that an accurate report generated from data will help the government to appreciate its strength and identify its weaknesses in addressing public demands.
And I hope they will use it well. They'll put the knowledge they have acquired into practice, using data, in the practice of journalism and in all issues is very, very important. And now, journalists have this difficulty in analyzing data, in gathering data, but the trainer has been able to give them the opportunity, the knowledge on how to source it, how to mine it, and how to break it into stories. I think this is very important.
He therefore emphasized that as members of the fourth estate of democratic governance, journalists have a duty to work hard to provide reliable and accurate reports devoid of subjectivity for the benefit of the society. Salim Umar Ibrahim, reporting for Trust TV.
Away from Nigeria, 4 Nigerian soldiers died during a dawn raid by dozens of armed assailants near the border with Nigeria, state television announced Friday. The attack left 4 dead and 2 wounded among Nigeria's Defense and Security Forces, FDS. The state broadcaster reported while a woman was injured by a stray bullet. After a shootout that lasted an hour, the FDS pushed back the attackers, who carried off their dead and wounded but abandoned 3 motorbikes, communications equipment and ammunition, according to the report. The region shelters more than 46,000 Nigerian refugees who have fled the violence by armed gangs which have plagued the border for years, according to official figures. The bandits, hiding out in dense forests, strike along the 1,000-mile frontier the 2 nations share. Their armies have led joint operations to try to halt the attacks, but they also have to deal with Boko Haram terrorists and the ISWAP group. And in sports, the indomitable Lionesses of Cameroon's goalkeeper Michele Bihina is optimistic her side can beat fierce rivals Nigeria in the 2024 Olympic Games third-round qualifier. The 2 teams will clash in the first leg tonight at the Stade de la Reunification, Douala. The reverse fixture is built for the Moshood Abiola Stadium, Abuja, next week, Monday. The indomitable Lionesses and Super Falcons have met 10 times in the past, with just wins for the former. Bihina, however, stated that the team's head-to-head record matters little this time around. We wish the Super Falcons a great success and outing tonight. And with that, we've come to the end of the news at this hour. For more news, don't forget to follow us on our social media platforms for documentaries and programs. Thank you for watching. I am Chiamaka Nwafo.